Hey Boyd, how you doing? So, this is another one of my videos that slipped through the cracks. Another one that I had composed in my head several times, like Black Lagoon and My Bride is a Mermaid, that I thought I had reviewed already. But, search across my channel revealed nope. Search across my videos and my logs indicated no, that I hadn't actually reviewed it. So, I've really got to get a better system at this other than hoping I'll remember things. Because apparently I'm not good at that. Anyway, so, The Legend of Korra. Now, I've specified before I prefer to review series all at once, but I will divide certain things up in certain ways. Now, I will at some point do a review of Avatar The Last Airbender, as I've seen it several times. I just haven't watched it recently, and I want to see it again before I give another review on it. Korra, however, well, I did just finally see it all the way through. Gosh, about half a year ago now, so a little behind, because I kept thinking I reviewed it. Well, Korra, I had actually seen the first season of it right when it came out, and I liked it at the time, thought it was fine. Okay follow-up to The Last Airbender, but didn't really drag me in completely. Mostly because it felt rushed, and it was. Nickelodeon kept dicking the series around pretty fiercely. Well, so I heard the next season was only okay also, so I just kind of thought I'd get around to it eventually. Later, though, it seemed to get more of a following, and a lot more people were liking Legend of Korra. So, I ended up picking up the whole thing, and still not getting around to watching it. But, finally did. So, thoughts? Yeah, I really liked it. It's really good. It's not perfect by any means. I mean, Avatar: The Last Airbender is a very tough act to follow, but this one does a good job, especially since it seems to be aimed at a bit of an older audience and deals with a lot more mature themes. Not that The Last Airbender didn't. There's definitely some horrors of war going on there, but Korra, I think, does a even stronger job at that, especially with showing multiple sides for a lot of antagonists. And I like that. Now, I'm just kind of reviewing the entire thing as a whole, which ran from 2012 to 2014 across 4 seasons. Now, series like this are a tough one to discuss the plot of, because if someone's watching this review, they probably already know the general gist of the show. And series are always difficult to surmise, particularly one like this that, since the studio hacked it up so much, they kept not knowing how much they're going to do, so they had to keep making it seem like it could end. So I will say it does get a little bit disjointed because of that. So this one follows the next Avatar after Avatar Aang from the first series. Rather than being a peaceful airbender, she is a brash waterbender who is a bit of a prodigy. However, she's having trouble mastering air. So she goes to Republic City, which is essentially the new center of the world, and, well, the Avatar world has gone over kind of a technological revolution. Now there's cars, there's a lot more technology, there's a lot, then bending is used in other ways, and yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing to see. So, over the series, different things will kind of threaten the balance, and Korra has to figure out, well, how do, from an uprising of equalists that are trying to help the common people by bringing benders down with his ability to take away bending, led by Amon. Then Korra having some family problems with her uncle trying to essentially unleash calamity across the spirits. Then a group of criminals hunting for the Avatar to get revenge, and finally uprising from within the Earth Kingdom. So, a lot going on. It's also interesting to see a lot of the characters from the first series reappearing much older, and as well as some of their descendants popping up and just seeing them interact. It's still a very fun series. Um, Animation quality maintains pretty high across the series. If you liked Avatar: The Last Airbender, it's a solid follow-up. It has a definitely different tone about it. Last Airbender was a lot more lighthearted, I think, while Korra definitely feels more serious. It's still a very funny series, but it definitely seems to have a bit more of that. It definitely seems to be aimed at a slightly older audience, and it feels like it is, but it works for it. I'm going to give this one 8 MacGuffins. I know this review's a little sparse, but it has been 6 months since I finished watching the series, and while a lot of it is good in my head, it's one of those ones that's difficult to know what I should be bringing up, especially for a longer series like this. Yep. I'm trying to think if I have any complaints other than the disjointed nature. Uh, Heading into spoiler territory, I am on the train where I wish they would had allowed the relationship between Korra and Asami to be show a little bit more than just the illusions that they got, because I was definitely getting that vibe pretty well. From what I had heard, that does continue on into the comics, and I hope to give those a read at some point just to see if that does play out, because I'd like to see that. I do like the depictions of the spirit world in this, since you see a lot more of it than we did in the Avatar series. We saw some there, but it was much more out of balance. Now we see a lot more, and plus we get a lot of the history of bending in general, which is neat. We see the first Avatar. We see how the world pretty much became the way it is. It's all there's a lot of history here. There's a lot of lore. It's fascinating from that standpoint. 8 MacGuffins. Sticking by that. Definitely worthwhile. Have a good night, everybody.